Chapter 15. Dora let out a scream of delight and hugged her sister. We are here, isn't this great? Dad is unpacking as we speak. Oh, sorry, Mother. Here you go. Big hugs all around. Dora moved aside so Patricia could take her place in Sally's arms. Oh, darling, you look exhausted. Come on, let's bring everything in, and then we can sit and talk. Douglas, don't unpack anything yet, please. We need a plan. Sally looked at her family standing there in the road beside her car, loaded with stuff. Where to start? Oh, guys, first things first. Let's go to the new flat. Is there room for me in there as well, or shall I walk? She already asked. She already had her coat on. You can sit on Dora's lap, suggested Douglas. It's only up the road, isn't it? Yes, come on, Sally. We can squeeze in the front, and Mum has a little spot in the back between the pillows and the laundry basket. They all piled in and set off up the hill. Sally produced the keys to their new home and opened the front door, and she and Dora jockeyed for position. Both girls managed to reach the inner door at the top of the stairs together. Breathless and flushed with excitement, Sally finally managed to open the door, and they practically fell into the hallway. Thank goodness the sun was shining and the flat looked bright and welcoming. As the girls went from room to room, it was clear that someone had taken the time to clean the place very thoroughly. Oh, it's fantastic, said Dora, much nicer than I remember. You're right, sis, replied Sally. She made her way to the kitchen and found a potted plant and note. Hey, come in here, Dora. Look, the last tenants left us a note and a plant. Sally read it out loud. Dear new tenants, hope you will be as happy as we were in the flat. See other note for instructions for hot water, etc. Miss Morris likes to collect the rent herself and have a poke around, but she's no trouble. Good luck, Jean and Trevor. Oh, this is so sweet of them, remarked Patricia, making an entrance through the door with a laundry basket full of groceries. Now come on, girls, get this unpacked as soon as possible. Then we go and have lunch. They all got down to work making beds and unpacking food. The flat very soon looked like a home, especially with the added touches of big cushions made by Patricia and a second-hand rug or two. A piece de resistance was finally brought up from the car by Douglas and given pride of place in the lounge. Oh, Dad, you're a star. Sally rushed to give him a hug as the father set down the TV. Well, I'm glad you are appreciative, my girl, but it will be usual for you both on a cold Sunday afternoon. He fiddled with the ton. He fiddled and faffled with the tuning until it all worked perfectly. Good job there, isn't it, Errol? How did you find out? He asked. I rang Miss Morris, of course. She is such a lovely lady and quite understood the need for a TV. I wouldn't be without mine. She told me, listen, everyone, are we really nearly finished? Only it is already 1:30 and I have got work to do this afternoon. I'm sorry to be so boring. No, darling, don't worry, said her mother, coming into the room with a bowl of popcorn. Everyone looked at her. What? Why not? It might have been awful when we got here, and this would just help things smell a little more pleasant. She plunked it slap bang in the middle of the rather scratched coffee table, and the rest of the family burst into laughter. Only you, Patricia, chuckled Douglas. Now come on, get your coats and let's get going. 15 minutes later, the family sat around a table in the pub ordering infamous Yorkshire puddings. You wait till you see the size of those suckers, Mum, announced Dora, already tucking into a packet of pork scratching. The meal was a big success, and Sally relished the food and the company of her family. She realised how much she had missed them. Still, at last, now she and Dora with her had. Still, at least now she had Dora with her, which would give her so much support. It's lovely to see you, Mum, she whispered as Douglas was paying the bill. I do love you. I know, darling, and we love you. Try not to get too tired and make sure you eat properly. We'll come and visit you whenever you want. Which show would you like us to see? Asked Patricia. Blimey, Mum, I haven't given it a thought, to be honest, replied Sally. Let me get through the next couple of weeks, and then I will have a better idea. I don't know if I'm going to get a really good part yet. Hamlet should be marvellous, but I am only playing the Queen in the Dumb show. But I am directing that, by the way, which will be very interesting. Her mother gave her an arm a squeeze. I don't know. I know you will do your best at whatever is put before you, she murmured. We are so proud of you, Sally. We just want you to be happy. Then Patricia leaned over and kissed her daughter. Douglas had paid the bill and farewells were exchanged in the pub, and then Sally and Dora were dropped off in the new front door. The girls waved their parents out of sight and stood on the doorstep. It had turned chilly. Now the sun was going down, and dust was spreading its blanket over the rows of terrace houses with their identical red brick chimneys and their gently curling smoke signals evaporated into the darkening sky. Sally opened the door and they both stepped inside without a word. They climbed the stairs to the landing and then walked slowly into their new home. Dora turned on an overhead light, which needed a shade while Sally went and plugged in the electric fire. It was soon glowing like a fairground, right thanks to her father's donation earlier to the meter in the kitchen. Sally switched on a table light with a warm pink shade, again donated by the parents. Its rosy light spread tranquilly through the room. Look what Mum has left us, announced Dora, coming in from the kitchen with a bag of crumpets and a plate of cream cakes. Sally sank into the battered armchair and let out a sigh of contentment. So, Dora, this is perfect. Our very own space. It is so cozy already. I love it. Would you be an angel and put the kettle on while I start to attack the script? She asked. Dora looked slightly miffed. Well, I suppose so, just this once, but I don't think I'm going to wait on you hand and foot once I start working, sister dear. Sally looked at her, checking her signs of real bad temper, and found none. She grinned. No, of course not, silly. Just today I'm so behind, and it has been a hell of a learning curve. You wait till tomorrow, Dora. You won't believe the hours. Dora went to the kitchen to fill the kettle. I can't wait, she said to herself with a big grin on her face. I simply cannot wait. Chapter 16. The inhabitants of the upstairs flat at number 7 Ridgeway Road were a little stressed the next morning. Sally was up bright and early, but her sister proved more of a problem. The coffee failed to raise her, so did the radio in full blast. So finally, Sally was forced to resort to pulling the covers off, hardening her heart to the moans and groans of protest. Dora, I'm sorry, but this is the reality. We have to be at the theatre by 9, so come on, move your ass, please. You've got 15 minutes. Dora let out a scream and leapt from the bed. She made a dash to the bathroom, wailing, It's so cold. Sally couldn't agree with her more, but there was no central heating, and the idea of getting up even half an hour early to put the electric fire on was too much, not to mention the electric bill. So Sally had got used to the morning dash to the ablution, and often didn't bother until she got to the warmth of the theatre. She made Dora another coffee and a piece of toast to make amends. And when Dora appeared at the bathroom door, wrapped in a huge fluffy dressing gown, Sally explained the problems and suggested that her sister did the same and just make sure there were lots of woolies to hand each morning to slide into at speed. Dora's answer was a bleary-eyed nod. They managed to leave on time and jogged down the hill to the theatre, which warmed them up a little. They arrived just after 9, in fact, so the wonderful Gladys was there to greet the new recruit. Morning, Sally, and good morning to you, Miss Dora. We have been expecting you. It is a pleasure to have your lovely face gracing my stage door, and I wish you every success with the season. Anything you need or any problems, come to Gladys. Dora puffed up with pride and plonked a big kiss on Gladys' cheek. Thank you, darling, I will. And with that, she flounced off down the stairs. Quite the actress, eh? Said Gladys with a wink. You want to watch yourself, ducky. She will be after your job next. She laughed so hard she had a coughing fit. Sally left her to it and hurried after Dora. She found her talking to Heather outside the wardrobe department. Heather was already doing her recruiting speech, but Sally interrupted her with hang about Heather. Gwendolyn has first refusal, you know. Heather sighed, I know, but it would be great if Dora can spare me a bit of time to get some prop when you are doing your acting. You know what it's like now, Sally. Every bit of help is needed. Sally nodded in sympathy, but added, Yes, you are right. But can we just start Dora where she was supposed to be and then take it from there? Heather laughed. Yeah, of course, good luck, Dora. But remember me, please. And the stage manager was off to the stage to begin the day. Gwendolyn was inside the wardrobe department with her head in the washing machine as usual. Hi guys, be with you in 5 minutes, she said. Why don't you make us all a coffee? I even brought some buns in the morning as a special treat to welcome Dora. Oh, thank you so much, Gwendolyn, gushed Dora, ignoring the signs from her sister indicating that she would lay off the creeping. Sally said, This is lovely of you, and we will get started. Come on, Dora. Take at least one of those cardigans off and let's get to work. I will make coffee while you acquaint yourself with where everything is. Dora took the hint and slipped off her coat and top hard cardigan, then went to join Gwendolyn. Sally made coffee and put the buns on a plate, and not before stuffing one in her mouth. Then she called out to the others, Coffee's ready. I'm off to set up with Heather. Come and find me later, Dora, when Gwendolyn has finished with you. If she finished with you at all. Up on stage, the actors were all gathered for the first scenes. Sally found Jeremy in a corner as usual. I'm so sorry I was not around yesterday, she told him. But my family arrived with my sister Dora and we moved into our new flat. Do you want me to read a couple of scenes with you now before we start? Is there time? Jeremy looked relieved. Yes, come on. Let's whip up to the green room and we can take me through these 2 scenes. Sally told Heather where she was going and Heather waved her off, saying, See you in half an hour. The 2 friends left the stage and went upstairs. After they finished and were on their way back down, they passed Geoffrey Chalice's dressing room, and Gwendolyn came out, looking a little ruffled. Just before she managed to shut the door, Sally caught a glimpse of Geoffrey very much in a state of undress. Her surprise must have registered on her face enough for Gwendolyn to feel the need to stammer, "Just sorting Geoffrey out with a costume that needs adjusting. The poor man is hardly awake." And she scuttled off. Sally looked at Jeremy and said, "Well, that was a bit odd at this time of day, don't you think?" He looked perplexed. "What do you mean exactly?" Sally laughed. "Oh, Jeremy, you are useless. You miss everything. The wardrobe missed dress coming out of an actor's dressing room before 9:30 in the morning, looking a little flushed, an actor with only his pants on. One could be forgiven for suspecting a bit of hanky-panky." Jeremy eyed his friend a little crossly. "Oh, for goodness sake, not you as well, Sally. Why does everyone have to bring sex into everything? Maybe she was just feeding him." He marched on down the corridor, followed by giggling Sally. Feeding him for what, though? She thought to herself, and made a mental note to find out what was bugging her friend about her sex. On stage, Giles was slapping his hands and calling for quiet. "I need to tell you all a couple of things about the next two productions. Is everything here? Is everyone here?" "Where are Sally, Jeremy, and Geoffrey?" "Heather, can you give them a call over the tannoy, please? In the meantime, I will start with Act 2 this morning, so if everybody could be kind enough to hang around the theatre, or at least keep close by, preferably not in the pub." Percy. This drew a groan from Percy and a snort from Peggy, who said, "He will be in my dressing room with me, sir, doing his lines." Sally and Co arrived with apologies, and the cast was completed. Giles took the floor. There are a couple of problems with Lysistra and the chorus. "We have some wonderfully strong voices already, but we need to swell the numbers. I have two thoughts. First is to engage a couple more actresses from local sources if possible, and second, we pre-record the song and then play the choral numbers on speakers from the wings to increase the volume. I would appreciate any suggestions for the actress, and I have, in fact, already contacted the stage school to see if any of the teachers fancy a go. The second point is to give you all a heads up on the casting for Hamlet. We are very excited to be able to announce the arrival of Rupert Hallam, who is making a name for himself on the small screen in the very popular Up at the Big House, which is in its second series, and I know he's going to do a wonderful job as Hamlet. Opposite him, I have engaged another rising star, Isabel James, fresh from her first film, playing a part in a new Woody Allen movie, as yet untitled. I hope you will all make them most welcome. With regards to the rest of the casting, I would like to see Jeremy, Simon, and Peter tomorrow lunchtime. And can you all be prepared to read different scenes and different parts for me, please? Right, that is housekeeping over. Now let's get back to good old Sir Thomas, shall we? The boys all went off to a corner to discuss their chances, and Jeremy found his way to Robert, who had been standing behind Giles throughout as usual. "Could I have a word, please, Robert?" Jeremy asked a little tentatively. "Of course you can, my dear. Fire away." Robert turned and fixed Jeremy with his very blue eyes, which seemed to bore into him like a laser. Jeremy took a deep breath and said, "I would very much like to have a stab at Laters, and if you think I'm in any way suitable for the part, would you put in a good word for me with Giles?" Robert looked at Jeremy, appraised him, and took his time. Jeremy held his ground and waited. It seems an age before Robert finally gave his response. "Yes, of course I will. Leave it with me." "Thank you very much," replied Jeremy, and left Robert watching him depart to join the boys. Sally, in the meantime, had dashed up to wardrobe to grab Dora. "Listen, sis, I think there may be a job for you in the next production, singing the chorus, maybe even a couple of lines. What do you think?" Dora was on her sewing machine already and had to stop production to take all this in. "Oh my God, you really think so? But can I do it, Sally? I'm not an actress." "Oh, don't be ridiculous, Sally. You have an amazing singing voice, nearly as good as mine. That's a joke, by the way. You can do it standing on your head, and you have got me to help. Giles wants suggestion, and then he will audition you." "Audition me?" yelped Dora. "I'll be so nervous, though. What will I sing?" "Anything you like. A Beatles song, a folk song. You know, loads of them. And I can always take you through some of the actual chorus from the play. You must have a go, Dora, please." "Oh, okay, I will do. Now let me get on with this, or I will get the sack before the end of my first day." Sally went to Giles and talked to him about her sister. He seemed pleasantly impressed by the Thomas family talent. "This is good news, Sally. Tell your daughter that I will see her next Saturday morning at 10 o'clock on stage." Thrilled to bits, Sally spent the rest of the morning working her way through the props. Simon, Peter, and Jeremy had gone off to wardrobe to check out the new girl, and were all very happy There was a sudden rush to be measured for the costume. Gwendolyn came to Dora's rescue by informing them that the costumes were all hired, and if there were any alterations, she and Jenny would be doing them. As Dora was assigned to making the girls' costume for this sister, knowing that they were going to be very flimsy, this only increased the boys' interest in design, and Dora was invited to the pub at lunchtime for a chat. "Oh, go away, you horrible lot, and let me get on," scolded Dora, "but I shall expect the drinks to be on you later, or my mouth is sealed." Sally laughed and made a mental note not to worry too much about her sister. She could obviously take care of herself. There were far more important things to concentrate on, like finding a throne for the play and doing another performance. Oh, what a lovely waltz tonight. As the actors all capsized downstairs, Sally felt obliged to remind them of this and suggested that rest between rehearsals and the show. Fat lot of good it would do. Heather was coming towards her, brandishing a notepad. "Oh, this looks like bad news," sighed Sally. "Where do you want me to go?" Heather was apologetic. "We need to nail this throne as it is the main prop, really. Lord Edward Graham has offered to lend us one." "Amazing, eh? He's a great friend of Giles, apparently. Anyway, if you could go with Peter in the van and I pick it up this lunchtime, it would be perfect. I know you'll probably miss lunch, but I'll treat you both to McDonald's on the way back." She handed Sally some cash. "Is that a fair deal?" Sally knew she had no choice, but that was okay. "All part of the job. Your wish is my command," she said brightly. "Just one favour. Will you keep an eye on Dora in the pub? You might have to remind her that she has to come back at 2 and work." "Will do," replied Heather, hurried off to her next assignment. Sally stood in the corridor for a minute, trying to remember what she was going to do next. Yes, of course, she needed a pee. Thanks for listening.